I think I started with around 5K.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
For our products, we make sure that we are sourcing from the right places, that the raw materials are clean, and that they are of standard.
Okay.
Success to me is being able to create something from scratch, a brand from scratch. I was consistent, so I tell myself, just be consistent and you'll get the success that you want. But during that period now, I'm not working anywhere. I was like, okay, so what do I do with myself? So I was just on YouTube looking at different things. I don't know where the idea came from. And I started looking on how to make a lip balm.
That is random.
So random.
That is very random.
So random. I started even visualizing how the packaging will look like.
That is so random.
Yeah,
okay.
all those things. So what I did the following day, I woke up, I went to one of the stores that they stock organic products. So I went there to get my raw materials. You can imagine, I was so green in this business thing.
Hi everyone, Lorna here from On Period Podcast. And as usual, you know what we do. We are here to talk about everything periods, demystifying menstrual hygiene, menstrual talk, and you know, our guests have to share just a little bit about their lives, what they've gone through, and you know, how they started their period. That's a key factor that you want to know. And today I am joined by an amazing lady that I just met a few weeks ago, and I feel like she needed to be on this podcast as fast as possible. And that's why we have Cerah. Welcome. I know her as Cerah. She'll tell us more about herself, what she does. When you open this product, and I smelled it for the first time, what did I tell you?
It smells amazing.
And
you love body butters.
And how much was it? Nipatie size? Yes.
Yes.
That's how I needed you on this show. That's how fast I wanted just for you to come and just tell us. So just start us off. Who is Cerah? And you know, where did she grow up? What's your life journey?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to the podcast. I'm so excited to be here and to share my journey. So Cerah, actually why I named my brand Cerah Organics. So my middle name is Waithera, and at home they call me Cerah. So I was like, let me just name it after myself, Cerah. And so I grew up in a village. In Nakuru, a place called Rongai. I am the fourth born. And I have one sister and 3 brothers. Yes.
School?
Yeah, so I went to a day school between class 1 to class 4. And then from class 4, again, I went and repeated in a boarding school, girls only. And then all the way to high school, it was a boarding only school.
Girls only.
It was a girls only school, and it was a boarding school as well. So like technically all my childhood life, I've been to boarding school from class 4 to Form 4.
Same here. I joined boarding in class 5, and mine was, I don't know if was it a sister school?
Oh yes, it was. In Elbagon.
Let's
not cold.
Let's not talk about the sister school bit. But I was also in a boarding school, joined class 5. I was in Muranga. I was also a sister school that was, if discipline was a thing, that was where I learned mine. What do you say was the key takeaway from like your high school, from your primary to your high school? What did you learn being in boarding school?
I think the independence. I am very independent in terms of doing things for myself. I don't have to wait for anyone to come and push me around. So I think that's one thing I picked, and the discipline that comes with that. So yeah, I think I built that from a very young age because class 4 we are talking of about 10 to
Yeah.
11 years
Yeah.
old. So building that discipline for up to 18 years, it's
Yeah.
quite a long time.
Washing your own clothes,
Yes,
making your bed to perfection. The teeth,
yes,
I see the curriculum was the same. Being beaten.
of course.
I feel like there's some trauma
Yeah,
that people need to speak about from a sister school
yeah,
because it's intense, but also what you learn from there is that drive is what probably you come out with even in real life.
yeah,
Okay,
true.
that's awesome. Did you study with your sister in the same school or was she in another difference?
No,
Okay.
because between my sister and I, we have a 7-year gap.
Ah, okay.
So she was way ahead
Yeah.
from when I was joining boarding school. She
Yeah.
was already in high
Ah,
school.
okay.
So
Yeah.
not
So you
really.
were alone. It's not that you had someone to be like, don't worry, I'll take care of you. No.
No, I was all alone. And then I used to be so tiny and short. I
Yeah.
remember one of the students when I was in class 4, and then I'm very introverted, so I used to sit by myself a lot.
Yeah.
So one day a lady student came and she was like, you're always alone. Are you
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Are you homesick?
Oh, the homesick word, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was an amazing experience
Okay.
because without that, I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those were foundational things I needed in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get into school, mom, dad
Yeah.
still living in Nakuru?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And
Yeah.
then you're like, finally, I'm done with high school. I know what I want to be, or what do I want to be? Did you have an idea of what you wanted to do, where you wanted to go to school, like to do your further studies?
I I wanted to do something in hospitality,
Okay.
but my elder brother was like, no, I don't think the way I see you and the capabilities I see
You
in
have,
you,
yeah.
just do a business course with
Yeah.
IT. That's when I think BBIT was coming up.
Wow.
And so I did an undergraduate
Yeah.
in business management and information technology.
Yeah.
So I majored in IT.
That is it. it computers. Did you get
Yes.
to university and you're like, okay, maybe this is not what I thought, but or were you excited at a go and started? This is what I want to do.
I think I was curious to learn. First of all, when I finished Form 4, I didn't go for computer packages. So you can imagine when I went to uni is when now I, I, I saw a computer
Yeah,
and like interacting with
started.
it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what is this? So it was exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get to uni? Did you have like a gap year where you thought through about it, or it was ile instant? Now I'm done with high school. Let's get into uni.
No, I didn't take long. I
Okay.
think I took like just a few months and then I joined
Yeah.
because I joined a private uni,
Okay.
so it was easier for me to join.
Yeah.
So like because I joined that year, the following year after I completed
Okay.
7.
So it's definitely the skincare product. You look, in fact, if you said 2017, I would have believed you very fast.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, no. It's 207.
Yeah.
So 208 September
Yeah.
I joined uni.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you're actually one of the people who are getting into IT very fast during that time. How was uni? Considering now you've already said I'm an introvert, and was it like a good program to go through? Did you enjoy, or was there times you were thinking, maybe I should try another thing?
No, I think I had that mindset of I want to learn
Yeah,
computers
yeah,
and business integration as well.
yeah,
So I didn't feel like I chose a wrong
yeah, of course.
career or
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
So uh, yes, I was still introverted, but
yeah.
now I was not a boarder. So I used to live at home
Yeah.
as I go to school.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I did have a few friends around me
Yeah.
who are also not out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did have a group of friends.
Yeah.
And then uni was It was just
It was
okay.
easy.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, is this a time you'd say you also discovered who you are, like the things you enjoyed? Did you do any activities? Were you in sports? Was that
Mm,
anything that interested you?
no,
No.
no, because we
Business?
were. I studied like in a town
Ah,
campus, not
okay.
like the main campus.
Mm,
So for us, it used to be like Monday to Friday.
yeah.
You just go to class and
Yeah.
then go
Go
home for
home.
the weekends.
Okay.
So I didn't really involve myself with the
Mm,
extracurricular activities,
yeah.
like I don't know, sports or
Mm.
anything like that. Although the main campus was
Oh,
open for
yeah, because
us
yeah.
to go there, but it was also quite a distance, like almost give or take 40 minutes drive, or if
Which
you're
is
using a
quite a far.
matatu. So I
Yeah.
didn't feel the need
Okay.
to go. So we were just hanging around school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free time, what were you doing?
Go shopping,
Yeah.
go thrifting.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'd go for volunteering
Okay.
to different children's homes around.
Yeah.
Also hanging out with friends
Yeah.
after classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So through this time of school, do you feel like you have a business acumen coming in, or for you it's just, okay, I'm just trying to figure out life, and then me, I want to just get a job, get a good pay, house, and live my life. How was it? Because when you say
Yeah.
thrifting, were you thrifting the clothes for yourself? Were you doing sales? Is there any business thing coming in, or it's like no?
Uh, no, I didn't do business in school, like selling stuff to my friends.
Yeah.
But I remember there is one time the Vaseline Cocoa Butter was being introduced, the lotion. So they were looking for girls to promote the
Yeah,
product,
yeah, yeah.
and it was the first ever,
Oh
like,
my God, that was a long time.
yes. Yes. So my friend and I, we got a gig. So we did that gig for 1 month and we got paid really well
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
Like,
The promo jobs.
yeah, the promo job.
Yeah.
So I did one of that. And
Okay.
I remember telling my parents, but they were like, no, we don't want you to be
Yeah.
uchanganyikiwe ukose
Yes.
kurudi
Kama
shule.
ni shule ni shule, kama
Yes.
ni job ufanye job.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Because also I forgot to mention my parents were both in education. They were
Okay.
both teachers.
Yeah.
So you can imagine when you're trying to divert from school at you're going to make money, you are like, no. But I had to,
Hatutaki.
I just convinced them because I was
Yeah.
telling them it's just this month and this money. I knew what I'm going to do with the
With it.
money,
Yeah.
and it made sense.
Yeah.
So they
What were you
agreed.
going to do with the money? That was definitely the next question.
So I needed to upgrade my where I was living.
Okay.
So I did buy a subwoofer.
Yeah. I love it. I
Being an
love it.
introvert, so I love music
Yes.
and
Yeah.
movies,
Okay.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I bought, of course, clothes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Your
yeah,
first pay
and
was
some,
improvement of self and surrounding.
yes, and of course a bit of pocket money. So
Yeah.
I told my parents for next term I have this X amount of money,
Nimejipanga.
so you
I
don't
love
have to
that.
worry about that.
I love
Yeah.
that. That is very
Yeah.
sweet, because considering our first pay is usually uko wapi, twende out. So you can even
Yeah.
say, with the first amount of money that I ever made from work, I literally bought something for
Yeah.
myself. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so how long was school? 4 years, 2 years? How long was the course?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, four
Okay, so
years. Then I graduate. Then 1 year hustling.
yeah.
Um,
What were you doing?
I actually went back to school
Okay.
to study. I remember that time is when the Android and iOS were coming up. So I went to school to study programming.
Okay.
So I did a bit of that as I was looking for work.
Okay.
So like six months into that, I got an internship. So I worked for this company where we were doing networking.
Yeah.
So it was also a nice experience being an intern there.
Yeah.
I did that for 1 year.
Okay.
Then I got another internship.
Yeah.
Now in the NGO sector.
Uh-huh.
And that's how I started my journey in the NGO
Okay.
sector.
Wow.
Yeah. And
In this place for the first internship, what was the like scope of work? What were you doing?
so I was handling clients.
Okay.
So if internet is down,
Yeah.
so they'd call us, and then I'd liaise with the engineers on the ground
Okay.
to make sure
Okay.
that they fix whatever it is.
Okay.
And then
That was proper
I
tech.
update, yes,
Yeah.
then I update the clients as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
So it used to be a lot of customer client facing, and
Okay.
also integrating that with the engineers, just making sure that they
Yeah.
are doing what they're supposed to do
Okay.
to bring the link up.
Okay.
Otherwise, the customer is not happy, and now
It's you on the phone,
Yeah.
like, why is my internet not
Yeah.
up? Okay,
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
So then how did you move into the NGO?
So I saw an advert, and so I applied for that
Okay,
internship,
okay.
and it was also a 1 year long kind of internship.
Dealing in tech, or this is a
Yeah.
totally different thing? Okay.
No, the NGO was child focused NGO, but now I was in the IT department.
Okay.
So supporting the first I joined IT, but there's a program we were working on
Yeah.
for giving computers to schools.
Oh, wow.
That if you remember that time
Yeah,
when
yeah.
yeah, the government had decided to give
To give the tablets.
tablets to the
Okay.
schools.
Yeah.
So there's a school in Dagoretti that we were working with, and supporting them in terms of giving them the tech skills.
Okay.
They were young kids from,
Yeah.
I think, then right now it's between grade 1 and grade 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was interesting interacting with the teachers also, because now this is a new
It's
concept.
a new thing,
You
yeah.
have to teach them how
Yeah.
to use these computers, and then how
Yeah.
to deliver that for the kids at school.
Have you now
Yeah.
moved to Nairobi at this point?
Yeah, I'm
Or you're
already in
still now
Nairobi.
community? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Actually, even the first internship was in Nairobi.
In Nairobi, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What was the transition like for you? How did you feel like moving from Nakuru to Nairobi? Now you're coming to leave. Probably you've traveled here and there, but this is now coming to leave. How was that transition?
It was smooth.
Yeah.
Because I had a relative hosting me,
Okay.
and they were very
Nice
good
and kind, yeah,
and
yeah.
kind and gracious.
Yeah.
Thanks to them.
Yeah.
They really hosted me for quite some time, like
Yeah.
a year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
as I was figuring out what to do. So that part of the journey was smooth.
Yeah.
But now figuring it out, like, now I need a job.
Yeah.
I want to also be on my own, support
Yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah.
I love that. I love
Thank
that because
you.
normally when you come here and you're starting life, it's like I need to get a place to stay. If I don't, also people are not so accommodating. So
Yeah.
shout out to your family who really took care of you during that time, and the
Yeah.
transition was smooth.
Yeah, it was
The
smooth.
NGO job that you're doing at this point, it's an internship.
Yeah.
How's that? How's the pay? Is it something that is stable for you, that if you started your life by yourself, it's because now you are an adult who's now starting life?
Yeah, the pay was good.
Yeah.
I was able to support myself.
Okay.
Because initially my elder brother was also chiming in to supporting me.
Yeah.
With the transport and things that I needed. But
Okay.
now I actually told him now I can support myself. So thank you for supporting me, because I also had to be mindful. He had his family, so just to ease the burden for him and my parents. So I started supporting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I moved into a bed sitter and started life.
Where did you move to?
Ngara.
Nice. It's either you're in Ngara or you're in
Yeah.
Pipeline or you're in Umoja. If you're probably starting life and getting like to bed sitters, and you're getting a fair pay, because for me when I was starting out, the first place I went to was Umoja, and I got a small bed sitter, and I think the pay at that time was 25,000 when I was getting the amount of money that I was getting, and I managed. And so at this point you don't have the mattresses and stuff like that. So you also have to try and start saving or get someone who's giving out those things to give you. That's a good, it's a good transition.
Yeah.
Okay, so this job, are you confirmed or do you get another place to go?
That's interesting because in between my internship, I became pregnant.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm now also figuring out like, okay, now a child is on the way.
Yeah.
So what's the plan?
Yeah.
So the internship was just for 1 year. So after I don't know, I think it's God's planning. So it was ending like a month to my delivery date. So it ended.
Yeah.
And then they needed someone. So they extended for 1 month for me. So I stayed until I was about to deliver.
Yeah.
So of course now internship is over. They've extended for 1 month. Now it's time to go deliver the baby.
Yeah.
And now I'm jobless now.
Well done. You were not prepared.
Yeah.
You were not prepared for that one, I'm sure.
Yes.
Walk us through that. How do you feel, first of all?
I don't know, like I think the way my brain works is figuring out solutions. So like, okay, so what do I do?
Yeah.
So after the baby came, I had to move back home.
Yeah.
Because how do I support myself? So I moved back home. That was in August. I stayed until December.
Yeah.
Then in January, the same place where I interned, the same NGO, someone left in the IT department and they were looking for someone and they felt like they needed someone who has already understood their system and working there. So that's how I again went back there.
Oh, okay.
And so they gave me a 6 months contract and then I was not confirmed for that job here in Nairobi. They recruited someone else because they needed someone with a bit more of experience.
Okay.
But by the time my 6 months were coming to an end, someone in Kisumu also got another job. So I was posted there.
Okay.
So I worked there for 2 years. And then I decided it's time to come back to Nairobi because now my child is big enough. At this time, I came back to Nairobi with my child. We stayed. And then when I was posted to Kisumu, I took her home because now the job was, I needed to travel a lot. Not actually even commuting, but because I was supporting 3 offices in IT.
Wow.
So I needed to travel a lot and my baby was still very young, not even 1 year old. So I took her home to stay with my mom.
Thank God for mom.
Yes.
First of all, let's take it all the way back. This is a question I didn't ask. When did you start your periods, if you're free to share with us?
Oh, yes. So I started in Form 2.
Okay.
And so all the way from class 4 until Form 2, I used to feel like weird, like I'm different. Because I've been around girls who have already had their periods. And I'm wondering, okay, what's wrong with me?
They're
not coming. They're not coming. I've been waiting and I used to buy the pads every time as I'm going back to school. So I have a pack. I actually used to give them away and just remain with like 1 or 2 pads.
I know.
Because they're not coming. I don't know, like if I have a problem. So
did anyone do the menstrual talk? Like, did you have a talk with mom or your sister? Because your sister is older. School, was there those talks of periods?
From home? My sister did.
Nice. You're lucky.
I think I was lucky. And then in primary school, we were also taken through that. So I had the knowledge. Now it was me just waiting. For them to come. But
did you have like were they doing the whole, you open the pad like this, this is how it looks, this is how it feels, you had all of that?
Yeah, we had all of that. They could demonstrate, and
Okay.
in fact, I remember one of the sisters was like, "Us, we are lucky because they are teaching us, because them they weren't taught." So her first experience
Wow.
was, you see, this pad, the one that has a glue, she stuck that side. So like, it was so funny. So like,
Yeah.
so she was like, "You girls are lucky. We are here
Yeah.
to support you and teach you these things."
Yeah.
So I was taught from the school,
Okay.
mostly from school,
Yeah.
and not really from home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's beautiful. Do you have any? Do you remember any taboo or anything that was said about periods or menstruation that now looking back is like, okay, that does not make sense, or that's what meant, that was what we were being told, or that was what we were supposed to learn during that time. I think for me the first thing was with disposal. There's we had a talk in primary, and this guy, it was a guy who actually did the talk for us in primary school,
Oh,
and
wow.
the major thing he said is, you girls, you go home and you dispose the pads and you put them under your beds like they are marigolds. And I was that stuck with me so much until now, when we went to high school, and it
Yeah.
became almost sort of a punishment that if we disposed pads like at the toilet thing, we were all lined up outside of that dorm or toilet, and you all peek and pass
Yes,
it all the way. You did that,
we
yeah?
did that. Yeah, we did that.
That was very off. But
Yeah.
now, being in this space of menstruation and understanding that disposal of pads is one of the key problems we have even in Kenya, I'm starting to see that's one of the things. Do you have anything like, that in your talk and relating to now in periods?
Mm, Not really, but I remember when I was in primary school, the issue of disposing was a
Yeah.
big issue.
Yeah.
So there's a time we had been called in a parade,
Yeah.
and then one of the male teachers was like, as men, we're not supposed to see that.
This.
Yeah, so like, yes, essentially you should be able to dispose it
Yeah.
in
The
a
right
proper
way.
manner, the
Yeah.
right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to me, what I had
Yeah.
is like, your men are not supposed to know you're going
Isn't
through
it
it.
to Zenyu? I like
Yeah,
that, because I see what you're saying, because now
yeah,
it ties back to, we actually need men to know about menstruation and to be in that conversation, so that we actually demystify and destigmatize the whole bit about menstruation. Okay,
yeah.
that's awesome. You have a daughter. We go back to that. Is she old enough to know about menstruation, and have you had that talk with her?
Yeah, she's 10
Yeah.
now,
Oh, okay.
and we've had that talk, and
How did you do it? What did you? Yeah, all of it.
so I didn't know how to approach
Yeah.
it per se. So there's a program that a lady friend of mine was running
Okay.
on equipping young preteens on puberty.
Okay.
So I talked to her. She was running a program, so I signed her up.
Okay.
And they went there, they were taught about it. And then now when we went home, now
Yeah.
I reiterated about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And she kept even asking me questions after
Oh,
that, like, so
wow.
when are they gonna come?
Yeah.
When they come, I know how to use it,
Yeah.
put it on my panty. They were even given
Nice.
pads from that
Yeah.
session.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
so
is so beautiful.
yeah.
Has she seen you with pads and gone like, uh, does she have questions around that even up
Yeah,
to
she's
now?
very open. She can even ask me, Mom, you're on your period.
Nice.
Yeah, we
Okay.
really talk. We are open.
Yeah.
She can even be able to talk about the changes she's experiencing right now. So we talk freely about
I love
those
that.
changes and the period. She's waiting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
I
ready
love
to
that.
support her
I
when
love.
it gets
Well,
there.
she's going to use Binti, I promise you, because they are
Yes,
comfortable.
of course. Yeah, they are.
Asante. Okay, so
Yeah.
fast forward now, we get back to you in Kisumu. You
Mm.
are starting life. You've come back to
Mm.
Nairobi. You've come back with your daughter. Okay,
Mm.
so what's the journey like?
So the journey is like, so I came back from Kisumu 2017 July,
Yeah.
and I'd gotten some work from
Okay.
a startup.
Yeah.
This time I wanted different experience
Yeah.
from the NGO sector, so I went to the corporate sector.
Okay.
And it was a startup, so the job was really good.
Yeah.
Breakfast every day.
Nice.
I was like, okay, this is heaven. Dream job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a few months into the job,
Yeah.
because it was a startup, and then now they started laying structures for the organization, and then they discovered that they had like overhired, and of course they had to let some of us go,
Yeah.
and I was one of the people who was let go. So
That was
you
not
can
easy.
imagine now
Yeah.
you've left a very stable job, you've come here to try upskill, gain different skills, and then now you have to go home.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had some savings,
Yeah.
and I had a car.
Yeah.
At the time, Uber was doing very well. So I was
Oh,
like,
you
you
were
know
the
what?
early adopters of Uber. You had
Yeah.
a car that you put in Uber.
That's when I put it on Uber. When now I
Wow.
knew now I don't have a
Oh,
stable
wow.
source of
Okay.
income.
Okay.
Yeah, and my daughter now, this is 2017 towards the end, and
Yeah.
now I was to pick her from home to come and now start school, because
Yeah.
now she was of the age to start school.
Yeah.
So I put the car to Uber to give her some income.
Yeah.
And then now during that period, now I'm not working anywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so what do I do with myself?
Yeah.
So I was just on YouTube looking at different things. I don't know where the idea came from.
Yeah.
And I started looking on how to make a lip balm.
That is random.
So random.
That is very
So
random.
random. I started even visualizing how the packaging
What?
will look like.
That is so random.
Yeah,
Okay.
all those things. So
Yeah.
what I did the following day, I woke up, I
Yeah.
went to one of the stores that they stock organic product. So I went there
Yeah.
to get my raw materials. You can imagine, I was so green in this business thing,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
mean, how do you go get raw materials from here?
Yeah.
Because they're so expensive.
Yeah. That is very random. Okay.
Yeah, and I was DIYing
DIY.
DIYing
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
So following the YouTube videos, because remember, first of all, I don't have the technical formulation background.
Yeah.
So I decided I'll just do organic
Yeah.
because they were easier to do.
Okay.
And also I was cautious. I mentioned earlier my dad passed on
Yeah.
from cancer, so
Yeah.
I wanted products that are free from chemicals and anything that can harm the skin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
Are you
why I
telling me
just
this is the
decided
beginning of
Cerah
Cerah
Organics.
Organics?
Yeah, that's the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Of course, now that's 2017. I'm doing samples.
Yeah.
They're backfiring.
Okay. Business is hard. But it's
Yeah,
fun at the start when you're
yeah.
when you're trying and but you like, what am I doing? I need to stop this. Do I need to get another job? What's that looking like? And are you looking for a job?
Yeah. Of course, I'm still looking for a job,
Okay.
because even if I start the brand
Yeah.
now, I think I didn't believe that I could start then and it would sustain us
Yeah.
for that entire time.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of business things that I didn't have. Looking at it now,
Yeah.
there are a lot of things that I didn't know then.
Yeah.
So I was still open at looking for formal employment.
Okay.
But now, before I got the employment,
Yeah.
so the Uber was sustaining us.
Yeah.
We were able to pay school fees.
Okay.
I did that for 6 months, but
Okay.
I had employed someone.
Okay.
So I was staying at home, looking after the baby. And also, I didn't mention I was living with my younger brother, because
Okay.
he had also completed high school. So
Yeah.
I was also
You're taking
mentoring
care.
him so that he can also get started with his career.
Okay.
Yeah, so, so
Okay. So fast forward, how does Cerah Organic now come to life?
Oh yeah, so after trials,
Yeah.
I managed to get a better formulation for the
Okay.
lip balm.
Okay.
So lip balm is our first ever product.
Okay.
So in 2018, around March,
Yeah.
I had a viable product,
Okay.
minimum viable product.
Yeah.
So we had that,
Yeah.
and then I started selling to a few people that I knew,
Okay.
and they were like, "Yeah, this is
This is
actually
cool.
good,"
Mm.
and I was confident that it's purely organic,
Yeah.
no chemicals in it
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we started. After a few months, so as I was figuring out the lip balm,
Yeah.
now the body butter came in.
Ah, wow.
Yes.
Just to give you a
Now
feel.
getting that formulation was a lot of
How did this
work.
come to life? This is the Cerah Organics Nourishing Body Butter. I love, by the way, you write everything here in terms of ingredients. It says it's unrefined shea butter, cocoa butter, virgin coconut oil, sweet almond oil, orange oil, vanilla oil, orange essential oil, and vitamin E. Like there's no additives to like any chemicals that are here. Everything is organic.
Yeah.
How do you create something like this?
So again, a lot of trials and figuring out things.
Who's your first tester, kwanza? Is it you or?
Myself,
Yeah.
because I also have very dry skin,
Okay.
and I was also tired of the lotions, because now the lotions, you have to buy the lotion and then buy
Mix
with something else
Yes.
for it to
Yeah.
moisturize you.
Yeah,
your
I don't know
body.
what lotions does to me. I just feel sticky. So
Yeah.
it's either I buy that lotion with then a body butter that I mix, and then if the scents knock, then you're walking around Nairobi smelling like God knows what. But if you find one body butter that is really good and it stays the whole day, so you don't also have to keep
Applying.
reapplying, and
Yeah.
that is so essential even when someone is building a business. Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted something that you just apply once and you
Yeah.
forget about it.
Yes.
Like, who has the time in this economy to keep on reapplying?
Kwapi mafuta yangu?
Yeah, like just
Yeah.
get a product
Yeah.
that is good
Okay.
and works.
Yeah.
So that has been our mandate, like to make sure we are giving you a body butter and we assure you it will moisturize you the whole day.
Yeah.
So you can focus on other things. You
Yeah.
can focus on your work, you're
Yeah.
raising your children,
Okay.
building your family, and the entire economy.
What's the range of the products
yeah.
that you have right now?
So we have a range of 7 products.
Wow.
So we have 5 for the face and 1 for the body
Okay.
butter.
Yeah.
And then we have 1 for the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so also for my skin, I used to have those breakouts.
Yeah.
Until now I started a proper skincare routine with my products.
Okay.
And I use my products all the time, any day.
Yeah.
I even showcase that in our socials.
Yeah.
Because some people, I meet people and they're like, do you actually use your product? And I'm like, yeah, I do.
This is what I live by.
Yeah.
A very key question. Starting a business is not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have funds set aside? How big would you say in terms of capital? Like ukianza, did you have a lot of money? Have you ever looked for money? What are the challenges of actually starting a business?
I didn't have capital.
Yeah.
In fact, the first shea butter I got, I was gifted by a friend.
Yeah.
She had gone to Ghana, then she brought me some shea butter. So I think I started with around 5K.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does 5K get you?
So the body butter was free, and then now now the 2 small containers.
Yeah.
And then some oils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did
the
design work for you?
Oh, this is not the first design. I had to do a rebranding.
Okay.
Because the initial logo I had, a friend did it for me.
Okay.
For free.
So everything was, we wanakuja.
Yeah, we wananisaidia. Yeah.
So, did you ever have the knowledge of like business plan and then approaching people? Have you ever tried like looking for funding and things like that? I'll sell one body butter at a time, make profit out of it, and keep growing. How has your
Yeah,
model been?
yeah, my model has been me funding the business.
Okay.
Um, I have a full-time job, so part of that goes into the business
Yeah.
to just grow it.
Okay.
I haven't looked for funding.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I've been
Yeah.
able to grow the brand. So
Okay.
it's been a slow but sure journey as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
because like for branding, I did it for a year because
Yeah.
branding is expensive
It is.
and
It is.
I wanted the best.
Yeah.
So I had to be patient. I think one of the key things with business, you have to be patient and just don't lose focus.
Yeah.
Because it can get tiring and you're like, now this
True.
thing, see,
Yeah.
I have employment.
Yeah.
Kwani ni must?
Tuweke kando.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the positives that you'd say you've found in business or in life with Cerah Organics?
I think the first thing I ever felt like I am doing the right thing, getting the feedback.
Yeah.
So there's a time someone, her baby had eczema,
Yeah.
and then she was like, let me try the body butter, and it worked.
Okay.
And she was like, you know what, I'm your customer, and
This
she's
is
still my customer up to
up to
date.
now, yeah.
So I think getting that feedback and seeing that the products are working and they are doing what they say they do,
Yeah.
they're not just any other product.
Yeah.
So that's one fulfillment I get from it.
Okay.
And apart from that, also knowing that I'm building a legacy for my daughter
Yeah.
and maybe future children,
Yeah.
God knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This is for them.
yeah, it's for them,
Yeah.
and I want to empower women as well.
Yeah.
I work closely with women who support me in different ways. Like
Yeah.
the one who did branding for me is a lady,
Yeah.
an amazing lady.
Yeah.
Do
you have
where
employees?
I source. At the moment, no.
Yeah.
But I've also mentored someone who was handling our social media,
Okay.
and she gained the skills on that, and now she's doing her own things.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a joy to see people benefiting from something that you started very small.
Yeah.
And seeing
From
them
my
thrive.
YouTube,
Yeah.
Yani, where I'm just like,
Yeah.
let me randomly check for lip balm how
Yes,
to make
yeah.
that. I love that. I love the
Yes.
story.
Yeah.
If you ever get the chance, what is the plan for you to with Cerah Organics? Do you intend on growing it as a very big brand where do you foresee yourself exiting from employment, enjoying us who are full-time employed by our business? What is your plan with Cerah Organics?
Yeah. My plan is to also be able to transition into business full time. So there are things behind the scenes that I'm working with and doing to make sure that we get there.
Yeah.
And I want to see the brand growing authentically.
Yeah.
And us, we are not just a skincare brand. We are more than that. We encourage wellness, self-care.
Yeah.
You know, for your skin to, like, if you're having breakouts, it's not just topical. It's coming from the inside. So you also have to work from the inside. Like, what are you eating?
I met
are
you
with stressed?
a lady. I met you with Cynthia. You work closely with Cynthia as well.
Yeah, yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Cynthia, she's in the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
So we work together in terms of assisting our clients learn about female hygiene.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because she stood and said a few things about female hygiene, reproductive health and system. Okay, so tie what you guys do together.
I mentor her a lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
On the business side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but looking at it long term, we want to see how we can support women in their reproductive health journeys and areas.
Okay.
So yeah, we are still young, so we are also maneuvering a few things here and there. So hopefully that will come to life and be able to support many women as much as possible.
I remember she had talked about women getting yeast infections and UTIs, and so it was just, I was trying to understand, because in the space of menstruation, if you just use the wrong product, pads, even just having like a scented, too much scented maybe soap or too much scented perfume, just anything that may affect you becomes something so different. How does your product ensure that doesn't happen to women out here, that if they use that?
Yeah, so for our products, we make sure that we are sourcing from the right places, that the raw materials are clean, and that they are of standard.
Okay.
So just to make sure that we are using the manufacturing products that are good for the skin.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's big for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So since we've just talked about the bit about the your product being something that brings wellness to women, maybe you can tell us what are your thoughts around, menstrual health and just general well-being of a woman. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is menstrual health should be accessible to all women. We know that in this country, some areas women don't have that. And I just hope that we can get to a place where each woman is able to experience the menstrual health accessible. They're able to access sanitary towels,
which is a big
water,
deal. Which is the hygiene bit.
The hygiene bit. And also being able to talk about it openly and seeking support, and as women who are able to support them, just be able to support them and encourage them. And for the young girls, we start these talks as young as they are, so that they don't find it like something weird. Like if you're a parent, please make sure that she hears from you. She's the first person. Yeah.
I like that. When we speak about menstrual health and just general well-being of girls and women, we also talk about the inaccessibility, the stigma around it, the shame, the poverty. And in life, have you gone through a similar ordeal? Like, have you had a time where things were tough for you, pertaining to just getting or accessing menstrual product? Have you come across challenges like other women who've gone through it and told you, especially because I know Cynthia when she said about women and wellness and getting the UTIs and yeast infections are very rampant. Have you had stories or cases like this?
I think I've been very fortunate not to lack from that perspective, and I'm so grateful for that. I think what I would want to do is be able to support those women who are not able to access this basic elements as part of their being a woman. So I think I'd be happy to support.
I think we're definitely going to partner. We do a lot of hygiene talk, and we also give out something called a dignity kit, where we give young girls and women who do not have access to pads and product, pads. We give them soap, we give them petroleum jelly, we give them underwear, because those are things that they also lack. And so it would be nice to just, partner with a brand that gets to understand that. And I feel like you you really know what it is that you're doing and why you're doing Cerah Organics. Let's see what we can do for the young girl and woman out there. It would be awesome for them to use something that's organic, a body butter or
Yes. Actually, I was just
right?
thinking about we can partner
and see what we can come up with. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I think when we talk about starting a business, it comes off as something fun, and I want to try, and it's nice at the start of it. But the more you keep creating, the more you realize this is fun, the creation bit. But now moving into a business aspect, it becomes a task that now I have to sell, I have to look for customers, I have to market, I have to, profits need to be made, I have to reinvest back into the business. What would you say has been like the biggest mindset shift that has moved from that lady who was on YouTube just looking for an idea of a lip balm to now creating 7 product and sharing it out into this market, selling, and it being a brand that everyone can relate to?
Yeah, so actually the lady who gifted me the body butter, we met at a coaching session.
Okay.
So when my sister sponsored me to that coaching session,
Yeah.
because she was like, you know what, you need to go and get someone to walk with you as
Yeah.
you start this journey.
Yeah.
So I've also done a lot of personal development with different coaches at different levels, just to assist me visualize and get to the vision that until we launched the 7 products where we are. So I had to quickly get help. And I think sometimes we shy off from asking for help because you might think that you're disturbing someone. But I did get coaching. Just to be able to even discover who I am. What do I stand for as a person? How can I bring the vision to life and not just sit with it? So that's how I maneuver. And of course, self-doubt, it's there. Sometimes you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing, but you just look back. So one of the coaches told me, like, when you feel the self-doubt, you look back at the things that you have been able to achieve. And then you say, there's evidence. I did this, I did that. So there's evidence there. So I can also do this.
I love that.
So that's what keeps me going. Like, getting the right support system as well. My family is big on supporting me. I thank God for them. Even my mom, like, she's like, oh, body butter is over. Can you bring me some? That support also means a lot.
Did you do anything in business school? Like, did you go to a coaching or a training around business? Have you ever gone to those type of trainings?
Yes, I did. There's a program that Melvin's used to, I don't know whether they still do it, but I think in 2021, I signed up for a program. It was for 3 months. And they were teaching us all about business, from pricing, marketing, branding, all things that revolve around business. So
how easy was it to find the course? Is it accessible? Do you think we have more of those out here for women?
These days they are there but I think you also need to know where to go to find them. I think I had gone for a meeting, a ladies meeting, and that's how I knew about the program. And then now I signed up. So I've also been trying to put myself out there, going for events. Networking is also a big part of meeting people. Like the event we met.
I know. Look at us here now.
Yes. So if you're looking into starting, keep those things in mind.
The circles of women. I've actually understood that networking and moving around and meeting other women, you never know. This one person might tell, oh, you don't, like, just last week I was in a training around women in business, and I was seated next to a lady who told me of 5 open grants that are being given to women. I was like, how do you know of all of this? She lives in Nakuru.
Yeah.
She makes briskets, charcoal briskets that are eco-friendly.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm looking for money, and you're telling me some people have been awarded like six grants
Yeah, it
this
could have
year.
been me,
Like,
you know.
how do I not know of this information? So yeah, I like the bit about networking, and even I like also the bit where you said you went for a personal development class, because that is very important. And then even getting into a business class or training, because those two are very key. And for me, I feel like those are very detrimental to have as a person who's actually in business.
Yeah, and also something else I learned from my coach is you have to learn self-mastery. So in the self-mastery, you have to master your brain,
Yeah. Wow.
your mind, your body, and the soul. So
Yeah.
you have to feed all those three
Yeah.
so that you're wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Love
like
that.
work out for your body, meditate for your soul.
Tuambia sisi watu wa vitambi vizuri, but okay.
Yeah, write, meditate
Yeah.
for your soul, and
Yeah.
then for your mind, read.
Okay, so what do you
Yeah.
do then on your free time? Do you enjoy, what do you enjoy doing apart from now business?
I work out a lot.
You do? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I also enjoy cappuccino. I love good coffee.
Yeah.
So I hang out in cafes a
Yeah.
lot. I'm guilty.
Guilty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also hike. I like the outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just anything to
Yeah.
keep me going.
I love that. So as we wind up, and thank you for sharing your lovely story with us, us getting to understand who Cerah is and who Cerah Organics is and who's behind even the brand.
Yeah.
What the one question that we like asking on the show is, what would you tell your younger self? And even here I have a better aspect. There's the what would you tell your younger self, but now what would you tell your daughter?
Oh, okay. I would tell her that it will all work out. Just trust the process. I know if someone told me that I would have grown my brand to where it is right now, I don't think that would have been possible, because first of all, I didn't have what it is required to build such a brand. So just take one step at a time, put in the work, and everything is going to work out as long as you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah.
So that's for your daughter.
Yeah.
For your younger self, looking back, what are you telling that young lady?
You'll be successful. Success to me is being able to create something from scratch, a brand from scratch, and also being able to juggle full-time employment, motherhood. So I didn't think I'd be where I am today, to be honest, but I'm very grateful that I followed the journey. I was consistent. So I tell myself, just be consistent and you'll get the success that you want.
Yeah. Are you still in Uber?
No, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Where is the car now?
I sold it and upgraded. So,
oh,
yes.
Okay.
So I'm happy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And thank you for coming. Thank you for the short notice and, making yourself available.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, find Cerah Organic products on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll share your links and just support this beautiful young lady who's trying to do amazing work here. She has 7 ranges. Maybe you can tell us what all of those are, if you don't mind.
Okay. So we have a body butter for the body. We have a hair oil. And then for the face, we have a cleanser, moisturizer, vitamin C serum, and the lip balm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
tried.
sunscreen.
I also tried the lip balm. It's
Yeah.
good. The ones who enjoy like a minty feel on their lips, that's a good one. That's a good one
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and thank you
So
for having us
yeah,
here. We are so humbled
thank you,
for
thank you.
inviting us,
It's a
and
pleasure.
we are so grateful.
Looking forward to doing so much more with you.
Yeah,
And
looking
yeah,
forward to
okay,
collaborations.
yeah.
Yes.
So that was it from this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. Keep it locked. Continue watching, continue sharing. We are almost at 8,000 subscribers. So I feel nalalive naamka. I'm just seeing all these new people joining us on the channel, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your feedback, your comments. We really appreciate. And let us know if you need someone on this show as well. Who would you like to see, or even if it's yourself, nominate yourself. Would love to have you and hear your story. Thank you so much.